Hello and welcome back to me playing Oxygen, not included in hard mode. Dupes eating twice the amount of calories, getting stressed out. They don't handle radiation poisoning so well. So in the last episode, I set up this base on the flipped asteroid. Had a little bit of struggle to get here, but I am here now. I've got a great haul. I've got a nature reserve barracks, washroom, generating oxygen. Got a place to go through a lead suit checkpoint and maintaining this vacuum area right here, because that's extremely important, because the extreme amount of heat, I don't want that seeping down to the actual dupes over here. So now I'm starting the process of just digging down so I can explore and get some resources on this asteroid. One of those key resources that I'm going to be getting and taking back with me is sleet wheat. So knowing that sleet wheat is on the way here, I want to actually build a sleet wheat farm. And for that, I would like to have it surrounded by a vacuum area. Well, probably the best place for that is out in space up here. What I might start to do is raise the solar panels higher up so that I can build a sleet wheat farm in this zone. So last episode I had this set to 2, and now I've changed it to 20. I wonder if that's why every container that was sent over has so little lettuce in it. So maybe that's going to make it just a little bit easier on the dupes. Instead of taking a small amount of lettuce, they can at least take 20 instead of 2 kilograms. Thinking that's what happened there. So they've made it close to the bottom of this. I've even put in a fire pole just for improved performance getting down here. I'll now want to start to dig in this area here. Actually, I can even go through the door, so that would be perfect. I can make it down there. Wouldn't mind, actually, hold on, I've got a better idea. Because I don't want water to be spilling everywhere, because that adds to stress. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to get them to dig down. And that's just going to be a place where water can cache. And then I'll have the dupes enter this area from over here. There's an opportunity to get a little bit of copper back. And then over on the other world, main world, start the process of raising the solar panels to be a little bit taller, so I can build stuff underneath it, including the sleet wheat farm. And we're all frozen right now because we're at the start of the cycle here. So I'll get one more this here. So I'll keep these in line now until those are all fully activated. And when they are, I'll destroy those later. Just watching my dupes dig down further and further, and just realize oxygen level is quite low down there. So I figured it might be a nice thing. Let's see what make that. Or the copper ore, but that might be a nice thing to have a little bit more oxygen in this area so that they can breathe while they work. Oxygen diffuser will go right there. So I've gotten rid of the solar panel that's sitting up here, and that was actually acting as a barrier from stuff escaping. So called all dupes. High priority task. Let's destroy these 4 tiles ASAP. Pause. Let's, what's the closest resource that they can grab? I see some igneous rock. Let's deploy some igneous rock 1, 2, 3, 4 at high priority. This power is actually only connected to this machinery, which I'm not needing right now, so that's not a big deal. In fact, that's not connected. The fact that I'm losing oxygen like crazy, that is a big deal. So dupes, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Please grab said igneous rock, get up there, and let's stop oxygen from just vanishing from our base. One more tile go. One more. There you go. Good job. So now I'm in my home world, and I've spent a while designing the sleet wheat system here. Now it's my dupe's turn to actually start doing some construction. So just give you an overview of what I'm doing. This is going to be the Sleet wheat farm itself. All the hydroponic farms, they're going to need water, very cold water that's being filled. And this whole area, of course, needs atmosphere, so I am going to need some drywalling. Build that when I get more of, put in granite. So this bottom area is actually going to be a liquid. And this is a liquid I'm going to keep to be very, very cold, because Sleet wheat, you don't want more than 5 degrees. But you don't want to get too cold either, because you're feeding it water, and you don't want that water to freeze, especially when it's in the pipes. So I've got to balance all those factors when I'm putting this together. So I'll have that built, and then of course I need to actually do the cooling. The water that I'm going to feed into this thing, I just noticed what is, was that just nuclear waste? I did not know this. Oh, that then maybe that's not from, I don't know if that's from this thing or Rad Bulls. Anyway, interesting, doesn't matter, it's out in space, it's already gone. Don't even think about it anymore. So yeah, essentially this is going to be the cooling system. This also, speaking of drywalling, I'll need a little bit in there. I'll need some on top of this. And let's put a steam turbine right there. Don't have to really connect this to power because I'm generating enough power, but it just feels so bad not to. So I'll connect that so it can generate some power. That's going to need, well, obviously an aqua tuner to actually do the cooling, made out of steel. Put that right here. I'm going to need to push water that's coming out here. I'm going to do this in ceramic. These 3 tiles, regular tiles, fine from there because we're out in space. And liquid vent. Don't have enough steel. I don't really feel steel is going to be necessary to use gold amalgam. Be more than enough. And I'll let my dupes build that much before I add any more to the design. Let's go look at how the dupes are doing here. Actually, very well. They're exploring this area. Let's continue the process of going over. Maybe avoid going into this polluted dirt area, or oxygen. Basically, just checking out to see what it looks like. Just want to get a path around all the different areas. We dug down here, so now we've got access to lots of water. We've got water in containers at the top of this world, but we've got some down there as well. I want to get a path over here, but I don't necessarily want the dupes to go through cold zone. Of course, it doesn't matter whether they're going to, well, it's -2 and that's -30. -2 is probably still better than -30. Let's do that, but I'm going to aim to mop up before they explore too much. So anyway, that's what's happening over here. I'll be back when they explored a bit more and more of this future Sleet wheat farm is created. So found a tile of concern. That's this one right here, abyssalite. Usually abyssalite you don't think of being a problem, but sometimes when it's really hot, it still can be. And I'd rather have that protected by a vacuum area. So what I'm going to do is create these 2 tiles here. Dig this area out and I'll create a vacuum by destroying this. So not super urgent because it is abyssalite, but let's not waste any time nonetheless, dupes. Or let's just go way over the other side of the base. And eat. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, good job, scientist. Let's now destroy that tile. Then we'll have our vacuum protecting ourselves from that. I do notice 47 degrees here. I was wondering why. It's even hit the washroom area. So the moment this is created, that'll will be a much better situation. Excellent. The other thing I'd like to have is oxygen via electrolyzer instead of what we have right now, which is burning algae. Maybe put it down here. battery up to that. Or ladder, I mean. It's going to need some power. It'll need some water. Got lots of water. There's lots of water on the asteroid too if I wanted to. Oh, I say lots of water. That's not true at all. That's not true at all. Let's maybe up. Oh, priority 4. Ugh. That could explain what's going on. Well, lots of water there, but had a low priority of actually loading that. Maybe I just preemptively should just generate or build a pump. So if I ever find I'm on my last payload of water, I'm not stressed trying to build a pump and get water into the system. I'll already have it in existence. Save a little bit of pipe. Now you gotta be careful about how I converge. This is gonna be the input. You don't want to confuse this system. I'm gonna go like this. And this will be sort of the conversion pipes. This is input, or being put into the system, and then it's all being consumed from this point on. So I think we should be good with this setup. Now washrooms are not having water, so maybe I should enable this until when the canisters, maybe that'll be some water. Lettuce, no, it's lettuce. Try again, dude. But yeah, we'll have that outhouse temporarily online until this water system is figured out. Just open this door here, some another bioscan. Might as well get free data bank. Let's rummage, inspect, rummage, and inspect. We'll see if we get any suits. I think these suits, or dupes already have golden suits. Just verify an explorer gets through. Yep. So whatever it is, it'll just be bonus. Unless it's a fancy suit. I forget they have those in their in the game now. I haven't experimented much with those, but anyway, that's just what I'm doing here. Oh yeah, also putting in some hot material that's being dropped off here. So if it's not lead, it's something that I wanted to maintain at a frozen state. Some of it's like lead, very hot. Let's just get out of that zone and put it down to this area that has a cold zone anyways. So I decided to cut this Sleet wheat farm a little bit shorter. Decided I didn't need as big as I had it. We've got this water that's going to be going here. That's going to be acting as protection for my vacuum on this side, and then the oxygen or whatever atmosphere I decide to put on this side. And then once this is filled up, I'll start to fill. Well, I'll have to finish this first, but I'll fill this bottom area down with water as well. So I want a really cold liquid I can put in this cool line. And I'm a while from having coolant, so I'm going to put in ethanol. It's my go-to with early mid stages of this game. I don't have the production system for that anymore. They tore that down long ago, so it won't take long to just recreate that again. So it's going to be ethanol distillery. Put that close to the top. How about right here? That's going to need some power. Connect that together down here. So there should be lots of trees. Oh, I've been neglecting these pips. They need to be filled up every now and then. Also better restock the eggs. Something I need to do every now and then, so I'll do pip eggs, cuddle pip eggs. 30 of them put in here. Auto sweeper will grab them, otherwise the dupes will. So if I leave all the eggs there, what would ultimately happen is they're all going to turn to meat and I'll never get pips again. I don't want that to happen. So every now and then, that's why I'm taking pips out. Okay, so now that I've got that sorted, this is going to be my ethanol line. It's going to go out from here. And I'm going to have to go up, bypass all this, and let's just stuff it into this machine for now. Don't need a lot of it, maybe just a ton or so in that, and that'll be enough. Check on the dupes in this world. Still working on the electrolyzer. They have the pump. They're still working on the pump. So they're exploring. They're doing. They're surviving. They're having a much better time. Zero stress. Unlike the last episode where they were not happy at all. Scientists for Cycles was had a soiled suit. Last bit of interplanetary payload. How are we with water? It's water's backed up in this system, and the dupes will have, I'm sure, this pipe in place by the time that is ready to go. Notice some sleet wheat here. I really like the fact that it produces a lot of seed. I've got 18 here, 18 here. If I were to take just the sleet wheat from the two that these two head plants have dropped, how many did I think I have 15. Yeah, I'm going to have 15 of these. Yeah, I'll have more than necessary to plant that. Though you have to remember that that's one of the rare seeds that you can both cook with and plant. So what I don't want to have happen is tell cook, hey, start cooking with sleet wheat, consume it all, and then I realize I don't have anything to plant. I want to make sure I plant first and then cook. So now I have water starting to fill in this area. So this is technically actually going to be my coolant line, but I'll drain the water out when this is done. Just want to make sure that I get my liquid in here before we move to the next phase, which is getting coolant in and around. The dupes are doing very well. They have now a pump. Actually, well, why not connect this? Just give it access to even more water, but they're providing their own water in addition to the water that's being provided from the other world. So the washrooms aren't going to go out anytime soon. Now I've got electrolyzer to provide oxygen, so I don't have to rely on the oxygen diffusers, which is good. So I'm not burning algae. Actually, when I start to disable some of these buildings, I'll keep the ones that are further away running. Or actually, maybe I'll build an electrolyzer here. Now I have to be careful about how I do this because I don't want to confuse the system, because I don't want to question whether it goes up or down. You never want to put the system in that type of thing. So what I'll do is I'll build a pipe right here, or a bridge right here. So that indicates this side of the bridge is always going to go up. There's nothing I can do because of that. But over on this side, I can input to one of these two things. So that should allow me to safely have electrolyzer run over here. Whenever I can, I always prefer the electrolyzer over the oxygen diffuser. One, I like to save algae for space travel. And an electrolyzer also produces hydrogen, which can be a problem, but it also can be a really nice thing energy-wise. Maybe it'd be a good thing if, speaking of which, to clear out a little bit more space for that hydrogen to flow up. So the dupes in this world are getting bored. That's a sign that I think it's time to pack up. To be honest, the only thing I really want is the sleet wheat. So this is cooking ingredient. You can put sleet wheat here in the fridge. Now I completely wrecked this rocket landing 2 episodes ago. So I want to make sure everything's in place before I pack up again. Let's see, we need some food. We have 21,000 calories, that's fine. We're going to need some algae for breathing. We've got an oxygen diffuser, so we're good there. Do we have water in our pipes? I can refill them if necessary, but I don't think so. Would no oxygen in the actual pipes here? That wouldn't... Not really necessary. Let's see what I might have an infrastructure anyways. No, let's not bother. They'll have, it's a short enough trip, and they've got algae to burn. Do they have any spare? I don't think they're really going to get stressed out on the way, but you know what? Let's just, out of abundance of caution, because I had such a bad experience, and I ultimately want to do this with this rocket anyway. Let's put in 2 of these carpetines. We'll move the cots over so that they sit on top of them, and I'll even build a barracks so that they'll have that to enjoy on the way. The other thing, I want to have a mesh tile. I already have some gas airflow tiles, so we should be fine there. So 2 cots, 1 and 2. We'll make that a barracks. Just going to need a simple door. Make gold tile here just for the decoration purposes. Now, did you put sleep? We did not make. Oh, sweep only. No, I don't need sweep only anymore. So basically, if you can get access to sleet wheat, put it in the fridge, and you should have access. Oh, I guess that's why you never dug that out. So you have some there. Once you dig out a path, I'll have some more there, and that's already more than I need. And there's 19 pieces here. I killed one of the wild plants. Whoops. But anyway, that is all going to be going in the rocket. They'll put on their suits. They'll go inside the rocket. And is there anything else I want to take with me? To be honest, I'm going to be back here. I mentioned that I want to use this as an outpost for recharging Rebel rockets. That'll be in a future episode. Right now, I just like to get all the sleet wheat I can. And then we're going to go back to the home world. That's, speaking of which, I'm loading ethanol. I'm going to aim to get a ton of that, then turn that system off. This system here is ready to be expanded. So I'm going to make this bit here out of ceramic. This is going to be input and output. Regular pipes from this point on. This is going to be ethanol going in and out. I'm going to be taking the temperature of the ethanol. So in the plumbing, I'll take the temperature here. And that's going to control whether the equituner is on or not. Aim for something like, we'll try minus 40 degrees and see how that goes. Gonna want some power to this equituner. That go like that. So that is gonna make it minus 40. Now I do not want to continually put minus 40 in my sleet wheat system, because water would freeze and freeze in the pipes, and that would not be a bad thing. So that would not be a good thing. So I want to do a couple things. One, I want to take the temperature right about here, and that's going to determine whether or not I want to push this cold ethanol once it gets down to minus 40. Whether I want to push that in or not. So the idea is this is going to be going in an infinite loop. It's going to go down in here. If cooling is needed, it's going to go in here. And if cooling is not needed, it's going to go out here and a liquid bridge be pushed up. And then this is going to be the exit pipe. This is going to go in priority over, so go on top of this. Go in this system. So the whole thing is controlled by this little automation wire, and this is going to detect whether it's appropriate temperature. We don't want it to freeze, so nothing below 0. We don't want to get above 5 degrees where the sleet wheat's not happy. So maybe something like 2 degrees. I'm assuming this rocket is filled up with sleet wheat. How much do we have? 37. They must have found more pieces than I'd realized, perhaps. So, or not. Sleet wheat adds up pretty quickly. But here we've got a barracks. Just trying to decide, is there anything else I want to put into this? Technically, they can build it when they go. And that'll be sufficient. They've got food. They've got oxygen. And what's new, and I wish I had it done initially, was this carbon tiles. They get a little bit of stress relief if they need it. Okay, let's get out of here. Sleet wheat's on board. Let's crew this thing. Let's make sure both of them are there, scientist and explorer. We're going to go back home. Can actually make it there without having to use gravity truck to fall down. Now we can't get back, but we definitely have the ability to refuel rad bolts on the home world. Don't worry about that. When they get in this rocket, I'm going to make sure their suits are off. Game is just loading. Cycle 725. Alright, so we'll watch this take off, then I'll go inside the rocket. Let's have a look at this temperature. What kind of damage am I doing to the pipes and all that around here? It's going to be short-lived. We're in a vacuum area. Okay, so they're gone. Let's get their suits off. It's going to take them 2 full cycles to get there. View the interior. You can take off your lead suit, and you can take off your lead suit. I don't know. Is there any benefit to a mess? Oh, I'd have to make it out of steel. Not that that really matters. But I'm just wondering if there's even a benefit if you don't put a mess hall. I mean, given the fact that they'll be here in two cycles, I'm not concerned. We'll just continue the... oh yeah, so there's another piece that I wanted to do with this cool line, which is keeping the top of the steam turbine cool, which is very important. But I don't want that. I'm going to be putting water up here. And I don't want the water to freeze. So we can actually start the process now. Dumping water. I guess it's technically going to load it here first. That's alright. Maybe I should turn that off until I watch it go down. So I want to take, in the same system that I put down there, I pretty much want to have this cool line, have this go in, and do a bit of cooling. I'll need a radiant pipe, ideally, for that. So if cooling is needed, now maybe I'll make it 50 degrees or something. If this thing gets up to 50 degrees, this thing is, let's not make this out of ceramic, it'll push this cooling line through until it gets below 50 degrees again. If not, it's going to go in this liquid bridge down. Whoops. So the cooling line is going to go up into this if it's cooling is needed. If not, it's going to go down here. And it's going to meet up with this stuff here, which is going to go flow through here in priority order. Oh, I haven't checked in a while to see if I've made a ton. I'm at half a ton. I'll keep going a little bit more. So I connected this through, and now I've got to essentially confuse the game. It's got this line here that doesn't know whether it's in or out, so I'll temporarily destroy this so I can get water through before I redevelop this system for the cooling line. Tubes are having to deal with a lot of carbon dioxide, so I'm going to get them to destroy this battery. Scientist is charging up a battery I've relocated over here. And I have to make this out of... oh no, I've got a little bit of iron ore. I'll make it out of iron ore, actually. But this will remove the carbon dioxide that's been building up inside this rocket. See some polluted dirt. I don't know if they can build a deodorizer too. I guess so. May not have sand though. That may have been pointless, but it's more important that I get rid of the carbon dioxide than anything else. Well, if they do have sand, then just need to power that up, I suppose. One cycle until they are home with the Sleet. Let's see if the dupes in the homeworld will be ready to plant that when they get here. Whoops, that's not the homeworld. Certainly not the cooling system. I guess they can plant them. It just won't fully be provided with water and all, cooling and all of that. Just realized I'm going to need a ladder over here to complete this construction. This side should be fine. Okay, so when taking off, I did cause all kinds of trouble, especially down here. I now have steam. It's 500 degrees. Has it affected the base? It has. It's even broken this machine. I think I'm going to have to go back a cycle or two and see if I can take off in a way that does not cause this damage. This is not what I want at all. Okay, going back a little bit. 725. First of all, starting off by adding some ceramic around this water. Do not want that dripping down here. Even the tiniest bit of water would have led to all that steam and caused so much problems. What I might do too is temporarily seal this area off as well. I don't know if that's... Actually, I could do it with a door. That way the dupes don't get stuck themselves. Do that. I don't know if that's necessary, but just abundance of caution there. So that's a ceramic. Let's just get rid of some of this stuff that's fallen. Let's not keep it there. And then we'll put in a manual airlock right here. We're just short. Looks a little bit of ceramic just right there. That's the case. I'll just add a little bit more igneous rock insulation. On this side, we should be maintaining a vacuum, so that won't really be an issue over there. Okay. Now I can put in airlock. So lettuce is now just... Oh no, wait, I've got a little bit of sandstone. Sweep that up. So I had to redo some things. I refixed the inside of this rocket. I've reloaded it. I do not want to take off without my sleet wheat. That was the main purpose of getting here. I had to redo some of this stuff as well, so that's all lined up. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't add the power for that back. Do that now. This is a lot of heavy wire just to connect to this. Half debating whether to use the regular wire or not, but that's fine. I could very well have other power purposes for this further in the future. Okay, so this is probably going to be the thing that's going to take the longest. Not even halfway done this. So I want this to be 2 levels of water on both sides, or both levels of that. But I want to make sure that I can take off here without causing havoc on this area. Always want to maintain a vacuum right here until long in the future, maybe when I build some steam turbines here, and this all goes down to 100 or so degrees. Even then, that's still kind of an issue. But yeah, let's always aim to maintain that vacuum, even when we take off in a Red Bolt engine. Maybe would also be a good idea if I build a rocket platform a little bit further away, so the next rocket that lands here will be a little bit further away from that. Do that right here. I'll get this built before we take off as well. So we'll have a ladder that goes up to here, and then a ladder that goes up there, because I don't want someone to land and not have a ladder access to their rocket. I'm just thinking, I know I did all that insulation, but just out of abundance of caution, I don't want the same thing to happen and have to take off again. Though this time I'm definitely going to make a backup save. Let's put in this system over here so I can store water. This door here kind of comes with a disadvantage in the fact that lettuce is going to fall through there, but let's just disable this building. I don't think I don't have any more payloads at the moment anyways. But yeah, let's just disable that anyways. And let's clear the water out of this system before we take off. So I see the dupes have created this. It's probably tall enough. I'll just add a little bit more ladder just in case, though. I'm pretty sure we're okay. Just last bits over here need to be done. Automation wire, and this needs to be set. So this is going to be, if it's above, we'll start with 50 degrees, see how that goes. The one over here is if it's above 2 degrees, and cooling should happen. We're on our second level. Finally, that's good news. Starting to fill up. Once this is filled up completely, then we'll move over to loading some water on top of this and inside here. Just thought one other thing I'd like to do is remove this lettuce from here. Now, my hope is it's in a vacuum in an airflow tile. It should never go bad. It should stay frozen, last forever for the next time the dupes arrive. But just in the off chance that it doesn't, if it were to rot, that would turn to polluted oxygen and not be good. So again, more of just abundance of caution. Let's put it in here because I've got a vacuum area, and unless, might as well have it there. Get rid of some of the other material. It's not food, that location. So I see water starting to come out of this, so when we take off, we won't have water in that line. So I've got more than a ton of ethanol. So we'll disable that building for now. See if that's enough to do a loop or not. If it's not, I'll produce some more. So this area here, I want to happen when the system is returning from this area. I don't want it to go into here and then into here. I'd rather go the other way around. So I'm going to have a path going back in. So it's going to go from this direction, from the left. Let's see, we'll make the top one this direction. So it's going to go up like this. And then it's going to come back. We get a crossover. That's going to go into the cooling system. Whether it needs cooling or not, we'll go through that. Get to this point. And we'll go down and we'll make this the output line. So this will go down and we'll go into here, and this will go back in for some cooling. Oh no, this one's sweep only. Okay. Actually, specifically only want lettuce. Actually, I'm going to put sweep only back. Sorry, dupes. Specifically just that lettuce. Someone is idle. I guess that dupe can do it all in one go. No? Why are you idle then? Oh, because the fridge is full. Fair enough. How many trips is it going to take? 100 kilograms. How much weight is this? Oh, they can do it 1 trip or 2 trips. All right. I'm definitely going to make a backup save here. I've got has water emptied the pipes? It has. Just to complete this process. Oh, water's going in from both ways. A little bit of spill is going to happen, but we'll mop up. Connect this through. Just that the next dupes that are here won't have to do that, or have to have me remember to do it. Oh, water fell down there. Let's not bother mopping up in that case. Cancel that. Drop that out of there. Whew, okay. Backup save. Backup save, please. Let's take off this time and see how we make out. Not not destroying that vacuum area. So the dupes, make sure I've got both of you. 1, 2, crew it. I'm going to change the location yet again. We're going to go to the home world. Acknowledge the warnings, beginning the launch sequence. We have a door shut. We've got a water pipe that is not containing water anymore. They're taking off. Let's watch the heat. So I still see, oh, that's nuclear waste. And I see some nuclear waste sitting on top of the door. That's not going down here, probably a good thing. Though I don't know if that turns to gas. But either way, I don't want it to be down there. For a moment, it turns to solid nuclear waste. What's interesting is in the milligram. What's interesting is I think it's still going to disappear. Or will that... Oh no, it won't. It actually stays. Not that I care. But there it is. All right. Vacuum, 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 vacuum. That whole thing's a vacuum. Let's not forget to get the lead suits off these dupes. Take off your lead suit. Take off your lead suit. I think last time I even made a deodorizer. Just do that again. And they're going to be there in 1.9 cycles. This is largely ready to go. Just waiting for water to go in. I could actually, I was going to say I could put in the cooling system, but I don't want the aqua tuner to run when it doesn't have water around it. So maybe not. Once this water is loaded, I'll be back and we'll put in the finishing touches. Maybe the dupes. I suspect the dupes will be back too that have been traveling here. In the meantime, let's get this rocket ready to go, because I don't know if it was last episode or some point I had realized that the crude oil line that's being supplied from here doesn't have a liquid bridge to go to this interplanetary launcher that already has a Red Bull generator ready for it. So given the fact construction isn't needed so much, let's send another rocket over. This is going to need some food, some algae. Let's build a bin for that algae. Store some edible, swept-only food. And we'll send someone over just to build that one liquid bridge over here. Just going to double check yet again. I still have a vacuum. Good. So I chose Miner to go on this mission. They're most familiar with that asteroid. They spend a lot of time there getting tons and tons of resources. So whenever you're ready there, Miner, you can take off. So you have to probably get on the rocket first. And if I remember, I'll make sure your lead suit gets off when you're on there as well. Oh, you're not selected. That's why you're not boarding. Okay, so they're making their way up. They saw a friend just before they get on. going Takeoff. So get their lead suit off. Perfect. They can do a wave to the other two dupes that are going to be passing by. So the dupes have landed. So we have Sleet wheat. So I'm going to plant that. 37 pieces available. Oh, still an issue in the game, but planting things can be difficult. Put a storage bin here. Put the Sleet wheat in the storage bin, and then we can get it over here. This is 620. I'm going to wait till this gets to at least 800 before I turn off and start directing water up here. So I'm going to put in some automation. So I'm going to have 2 auto sweepers here. I'm going to have a conveyor loader. What did I make those out of? Lead? Yeah, lead's perfect. So I'm going to have the loader send material back. That's the Sleet wheat that's grown. I'm going to send that into a storage area. I'm going to put in an auto loader, or ability to put in dirt. This is going to be dirt line here. The idea is this will be fed in from the base. Maybe I'll put that right out here. So that's dirt going into the system. This is going to be Sleet wheat going into the, making its way over here for deep freezing. Let's just join it at that line. Just careful about not killing trees or anything like that on the way. Which one was which? Yeah, this was my, so that is the Sleet wheat going down. Conveyor loader. And an auto sweeper. And a storage bin full of dirt. This will be there, and this is going to need some power. Oh, yeah, okay, so I already have this here, so this is perfect. Put one there, put one there. And I'll have power connection for all that. So that's going to make a fully automated system for the input and output of all this, plus ensure that I get the Sleet wheat stored in a deep freeze location. Now I notice that this is 800 or more, so let's destroy that liquid vent. See if the other dupe has made it to the oily asteroid. They have. Miner is back. So your only real task, only real purpose of being here. Why are we having... Oh. Can you build a... Oh. You cannot build a ladder. You can... I could... You're stuck. Is anything... Yeah, let's destroy this ladder then. And this ladder. Maybe even temper it. We'll see what's going to be needed. Oh my goodness. I think 2 pieces should be fine. So if they can stand there, that means they just need a piece there and there. I believe that is true. So there's Miner out in the world, trying to put in this last little ladder here. And if they can do that, they can get down. Okay, before I forget, let me restore this. Well, they don't have to fix this ladder, but I'll do it anyway. So that's that ladder. And then over here, let's just make it a full ladder going up. Since we're here, actually make it a little bit taller, because I have a taller rocket next time. I could go all the way down. But let's make the highest priority this liquid bridge. Let's not leave without doing that. That's a priority 9 for you, Miner. Okay, so over here, I've turned this system off, so that's no longer loading water. So that's my cooling line. I don't want liquid bridge liquid pipe. Let's destroy this. Destroy that. Destroy this. So what we need to do is get this cooling system on there. Oh, the other thing. I have this set to be a 50-50. Let me. What would set that to be default? Let's put 0, 0. So it's going to shut that. I should turn that off. Or do I have that wrong? Maybe it's going to be 100, 100. Okay, one has to be before the other. Okay, there we go. So that's false. All I want to do is just direct water to go up. I want to load 75 kilograms on top of this, and then I'm going to put some in here. I'll be back when that is done. I suppose we should seal this as well. So now I've got water loading into here. I just have a few more pieces to do. This whole thing will be working. So this is going to be the cooling system. Goes in here and there, and it's going to meet up here. And it does a bypass here if it needs cooling. It does or needs to cool the steam turbine. Then it goes in here if the actual liquid itself needs to be cooled. So this is going to go. Let's see. This is going to go this direction, and then I see this is meeting up with that. Okay, so I think that's all the pieces for that. And then we need the water line. So we need water connected into this. This water is going to go into here, and back down this way, and go back into this system here. Actually, no, I think it'd be slight. Just avoid a bridge, not a big deal, but if I were to actually make this go the input system, so water's going to go in this way. Oh yeah, I have this bridge here anyway. That's going to visit all the steam or the sleet weight, see if it needs water. If it doesn't, it'll go in here. Let's just get rid of some of these extra pieces. I don't need a lot of water. That's probably going to be enough. Because it's not a battery, it's just going to be for the purposes of making sure the aquatuner doesn't overheat. So colony achievement has been earned. What is it? Finely tuned machine. Perform 100 tune-ups on power generators. I didn't realize I was actually still doing tune-ups. Oh yeah, there is operator. Probably not necessary given the steam turbines, so we can we'll disable that building altogether. But anyway, there it is. I did want every single achievement, so it's not really a waste of my refined metal. It gave me my achievement. Now I'll stop doing that. So I'm just having a gas pipe in so I can get some oxygen in this area. I should have this system be going through. Something is wrong. I see it right here. So now I have my ethanol line going through. It's detected it needs some warming. It's currently 18 degrees. Yeah, that's way too warm. Let's get the temperature down here. Let's put in this sensor. Let's say minus 40. If you're minus 40 or above, you can do some freezing. Check that it actually is going to make it in there now. There, it's making its way around. It should go through the aquatuner. Yep, aquatuner is on. So that's going in at 21 degrees, going out at 7 degrees. Still not cool enough, but as it keeps going round and round in the circuit, we'll get there. Let's start the process of planning. Well, I needed that's why I built this fridge. Let's put sleet wheat in there at high priority. So the dupe over in this world has installed this liquid bridge. I also got them to install this system here. Essentially, it is a liquid reservoir that's going to take water that I received from the other world and allow that to fill up. And only when this fills up will it direct water into the oil well. Essentially, the priority is oxygen and food. So that's why I have that there, but only in the case that that gets filled up. Because I don't want essentially this water-hungry oil well starving or cutting off oxygen for any dupes that are here. That's pretty much all I had to do here. So, dupe, I guess you're free to go back to the homeworld. So I now should see some crude oil. There it is, making its way to the interplanetary launcher. And this system is slowly cooling stuff off. We have our sleet wheat in here. So now that it's there, I actually am able to plant my sleet wheat. Won't actually grow until it gets down to -5 degrees or below, but it's on its way. Let's check on the dupe. Oh, I don't think I actually acknowledged the takeoff, have I? Better do that. Now, this is the first time I think a red bolt is taking off here. Is this causing any kind of havoc? This is heating up, but not like the other asteroid. Okay, thought that would be worth checking. Is any of this... That's my cooling line. Probably should have had that insulated, maybe. Well, I can't do that now because nothing's highlighted. Okay, note to do later. I measured this down to the wire, this ethanol line. It's going all the way through, and it's got 10 kilograms, just the perfect amount. When it does operate in here, I guess it's technically going to be a little bit less, but anyway, I thought that was kind of funny. So the sleet wheat is planted. Now I would love to allow this to get down to 5 degrees and show you that this is growing healthily. But I gotta end it here tonight, and I'll end the episode at this point. Just double check. Yeah, there is the dirt line, so that's making its way in, and I've got this set to when finally do have some of this sleet wheat. It's going to be stored and saved forever, or at least until it's cooked with. So yeah, we started out over on Epsibio, had a little bit of a catastrophe of a takeoff, but resolved that. I didn't do a lot here except for a little bit of exploring. Created a pump down here and just some paths to see what's around here. Really only cared about sleet wheat, so took up a bunch of that, and when I was able to safely take off, I was done with this world. Did put in this new rocket platform, so if I want to land there in the future instead of there, I can. Definitely not done with this world. I'm going to create a Red Bolt charging station in the future. Got over to Villista, and finally we're sending crude oil there. You see that's going in, so I'll be able to generate more plastic. And back in the homeworld, I've created this. So now I have a place I can grow my sleet wheat. I can maintain its temperature. It's down to 17 point something. It was 18 earlier, so it's very quickly dropping. And it won't take too long. In the next episode, you'll definitely see me have some proper sleet wheat growing in this farm. And a cooling system for that, ethanol that runs through that. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Thanks for anyone that subscribed, liked, and I will see you in a future episode. Until then.